Sorry guys, let's switch that one off. Having a good drink. Elephants can drink a lot of water when they're thirsty. 50 liters, 100 liters of water. It's about 15-20 gallons depending on how thirsty they are, and obviously the size of the elephant. It's starting to get warm, nice and quick now. We had a crisp morning to start with, beautiful sunrise. If you missed the beginning of the drive today, it was a lovely morning. Not too busy, nice sort of lazy Friday, nice lazy Saturday morning. As you can hear, I still need to wake up as well. I think I need a leopard to appear in the road in front of us. That always wakes one up nicely. But a couple of ellies, a bit of general game. Leopard track here and there, but otherwise just a beautiful winter morning. The fact that we've seen 2 musk bull elephants in the last half an hour or so gives me some hope that there might be some big breeding herds around as well. Obviously we saw that breeding herd of elephant yesterday afternoon. They should still be in the area somewhere. There's a bit of interaction. There you can see, just sort of up into the trees. And coincidentally we saw 2 bulls this morning that are in must. Must is just a condition, and a short sort of summary for you, where their testosterone levels go up and their hierarchy, or their standing, their social ranking within the bull society goes up, and they become the preferred mating partners for females that might be in estrus or in the right state to reproduce. They normally go into must once a year. I mean, there's been lots of interesting studies done on it. Pilanesberg National Park, when I started guiding there in the late 90s, in the previous millennium, it sounds very long ago, there were some very interesting studies done on bull behavior with introductions and must behavior. But in general, elephants go into must once a year, and depending on the size of the elephant and the condition of the elephant and the dominance of the elephant, that must can last anything from a few days or weeks up to a few months, 4, 5, 6 months, sort of under perfect conditions for a big male in his absolute prime. Let's just see, there might be a bit of interaction there, keeping in mind the bull sort of with his backside to us at the moment with the ears half open. He is in must. The other one coming down there looks a bit younger. He's not in must. Definitely younger as well. Let's see the open ear postures. It might be a greeting there. It's not going to be, these guys don't fight sort of out of, just the next thing to do. It's something they try and avoid. And this would be very, very clear. That younger one, not only is it younger and is he smaller, but he's also not in must. So there's no dominance issues here. It's very clear to, for them who's the dominant guy. But I'm expecting that youngster to maybe come closer at some stage, do a bit of a greeting. They've probably traveled together already. Just the way that he approached there, it seemed a little bit as if they, haven't been in close proximity for the last couple of hours. That's a great question, Joanne, and it's something that that I've wondered about often as well, because when you see these big bulls, especially the bulls when they're in full must, that continuous dribbling, it's a lot of liquid that goes out. So Joanne, you're just wondering if an elephant would need more water if it's in full must? I can't say that I've specifically ever read that somewhere. But I would think so, just logically speaking. It would make sense. They can lose a lot of liquid during the day. Seems we've got a few guests from New Jersey this morning. Hello Rita, you were just asking about that tusk we spoke about earlier, the right hand side tusk of the other bull that is obviously broken out somewhere along the line in a fight. I think he's not giving us his tusk view at the moment, but you were just wondering if that tusk will grow back. Rita, it won't grow back if it's broken out. If it's broken out at the root, then that's, it's like losing a tooth and that's gone. But quite often the tusk just breaks off a piece of it, like the tip or a part of the tusk itself, and then the tusk will keep on growing. Keep in mind it is a tooth, and the ivory piece that we see, the extension of the tusk, is only a part of the tusk. A lot of it goes in under the sort of top lip. And I'm just thinking maybe we should go a bit closer. Let's go sit on that side. It'd be nice to get a few close-ups and we can talk about it again maybe, Rita. But in short, if the tusk is broken, it will keep on growing, but if it's broken out, it won't grow back. That explains it. Where shall we go sit? We're just going to go through a dip here. It's just going to be quiet. It might break up a little bit, but it's very, very quick. Then we're through it. Have a look if we can have a closer look at that early. Head shake. We expect it from a big guy in must. See the posture as well. Head up, ears open, making himself look bigger. Quite a lot younger than the first bull we had in must earlier. That guy estimated sort of mid-late or mid to sort of early to mid 30s, 33, 35. This guy would probably go with late 20s, early 30s at the most, around 30. At least 3 or 4, if not more years younger than the other one. I wonder what he's listening to. He's listening to something at the moment. There you can see the lips nicely, Rita. This one you can actually see the whole side of that tooth cavity, if you want, is collapsed. So that whole area there, if there was still a tooth root in there, there'd be a bit of a bulge. So that tooth won't grow back. Giving us a bit of a display there of his good balance. Guys, he's in full muscle. Let's have a quick look. Spoke about how much liquid they can lose. It's got a constant dribbling. Now this is going on, the whole time. That's quite a lot of liquid. He's busy. He's sort of having a look at us at the moment, really. I don't think he's doing anything specific. He's pretending to eat a bit of grass up there, but partly I think he just wants to come see what we're up to. I wouldn't be surprised if he maybe gives us another little head shake just now, just to sort of see what we're about. Look how he's resting his head on his tusk. He's just wedged the tusk into the soil there, leaning against it. Strong animals. See if he gives us a little head shake again. Quite a bit of dust coming off now. He's busy breaking a part of that bank. There you can see with the tusk just getting some nice soft dust. Good question, Benjamin. Nice to have you on drive with us. Benjamin is just wondering if it's not a bit strange that he's by himself or that they're alone, and we've got two bulls here. Another one joined this guy, but it's just the two of them. Benjamin, the big herds that we see when you see lots of babies and young ones and middle-sized ones and sort of a whole mix of elephant, that's the breeding herds. There we go. A little bit of a like, what are we up to? Okay, dude. Oh, he's beautiful. He's right here. Look at that. Lovely setting as well. We've got the riverbed going in the back there, that area. Nice big knobthorn acacia, beautiful view. Keep in mind, guys, this guy is in full must. So, oh, look at this on his trunk, Brian. Right there, there's a stick insect. Look at that, catching a ride. So there's a little something, but that's actually a stick insect. It looks like a piece of grass. And that's a little insect walking on his trunk. Look at the trunk over the tusk like that. A little bit of a dominance behavior, the way he's hanging in the trunk. Come to have a look at us. We didn't do anything funny. We didn't sort of move or try and give an idea that we want to push him or something. And it's important to look at their behavior. He didn't, we eased our way in here. We got closer a little bit, gave him a bit of time to get used to us, and he decided to come and ask us what we're up to. Even when he's in must, as I said, don't do this at home kind of thing, folks. But even when he's in must, you can still approach elephants, just see what they're about, ease your way in there, don't sort of barge your way in. There's more elephants in the back as well. Oh, but he's a spectacular elephant. You can see he's listening again, just with his ear. If you look at the angle of the ear sort of up like that, that's probably more likely listening to the other elephants in the area rather than to us or some other noises. Great opportunity to see some of the details. There you can see the toenails. Elephants effectively walk sort of right on the tip of the toes, but most of the weight is carried on the heel part. What I mean with that is, you can see the big nails there, but most of that foot is a heavy sort of cushion of fat and muscle tissue, and the heel sits in the back of that pad. So it's a very padded, sort of pliable, soft foot, like a big sponge almost. He's breaking more. So, oh, look at this, breaking more dust. Oh, this is a awesome view. Hey, big guy. Head shake. This is rad. Hey, mister. Wow, we've had a whole breeding out of elephants join us without even knowing it. Although we did have a big bull elephant in must standing right in front of us, so we were paying attention that side. Fantastic. Sorry guys, I just love that. Right now he's giving us a big head shake because I started the engine, and and I'm not going to follow him, I'm going to give him his space. But guys, it's very important. How you behave around the elephant will play a massive role in how they behave towards you. So, oh wow, look at this, Red, this is amazing. They all appeared here without any of us noticing it. That's stunning. Look at that. And this would also explain his presence, I guess. He's following maybe one of those females in the herd. Well, I see there is one big bull with him, although he's not in must. Oh, that's awesome. Quite a big herd. Let's do a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 15 or so elephant. I might have missed one small one in amongst the legs there. Let's get a little bit closer to them. I don't know if we'll be able to sneak up on them the way they snuck up on us, but it was a surprise, eh? Turn your head around and there's like 15 elephants standing there. Stunning bulbous though. That was quite an intimate experience we had with him, close up to us. He's going to ride along. He's just off on the left hand side here. There he is. Hey, mister. Look at this. Oh. Awesome, guys. They've had their drink. Seems they're going to be moving on again. We might stick with them depending on where they go. Hello, Jody. You're just wondering if elephants ever thrown something at me? Yeah, they throw things at us sometimes, or sometimes at, I've even seen them throw things at birds with other elephants. Sometimes, a tuft of grass or sand, water. Doesn't happen often, but I've experienced it over the years. You get to know certain elephants, and if you spend lots of time with them, they sometimes play with you a little bit as well. We're right down here, almost at water level now. Before we follow that herd further into the bush, I see there's still 2 young ones sort of trailing behind, and I see there's actually 3 hippos here, not 2 like we thought earlier. So, and there's a buffalo arriving behind the elephant. Seems we've arrived at the waterhole at the right time, perhaps. These 2 should be catching up just now. That looks like 2 young males. They'll start hanging around at the sort of periphery of the herd more and more. Both of them are at an age where they will start getting sort of subtle cues from the matriarch that it's time to move along. And it's not an immediate thing. They don't move out the next day kind of thing. It's a gradual process where they start following more behind the herd, sort of hanging around the edges of it, getting to know other bulls like the big guy behind us here in Must. So it is a very gentle process. It's not sort of a traumatic getting pushed out of the herd. It's more a gentle change into the bull society, or a gradual change maybe. Whoa, look at that guy. He's going into 4x4 mode up that bank. Actually amazing how they can climb. That's very steep. And this one's going to try and follow maybe. No, he's going to take the smoother route. Suddenly he's very alone. You see what happened there? He was quite comfortable when the older bull was with him. I would guess the one to be sort of, that one maybe 12, 13, something like that. The other one maybe 15, 16. Suddenly the younger one felt very exposed there by himself. Funny animals sometimes. Great. We are going to try and follow them again just now, but for now, that buffalo bull seems he's on his own. He came down for a drink. Got the hippos just in the front here as well. Go back to you slightly. Quite likely that buffalo will spend a few hours here. He's getting a drink now because he's just arrived, but nice water, nice mud as well for him to be lying around in, so he's probably going to stick around here most of the day. Well, that was very sort of lucky timing for us, just arriving here as the Ellie's arrived. Well, as one Ellie arrived, we almost missed him. We were just about to leave the waterhole, and then that elephant arrived. We stayed for him. Another elephant arrived. Great time with him. I really enjoyed that. Your senses go up a little bit when the elephant's that close. Breeding herd, buffalo, lots of things happening. We're going to take a few more minutes here, just enjoy the view, listen to the sounds. And speaking of your sort of attention going up and the adrenaline a little bit with the elephant close by, that's something that always happens on foot. As soon as you're on foot, you are so much closer to everything around you, and that's a great experience. So enjoy being on foot with Stefan. We'll see you just now.
Welcome back to the bushwalk, everybody, to myself, Stefan, and Scott on the camera. And we've had quite an interesting time since we last left you, with our noses in the grass over here looking for some tracks. We bumped straight into a herd of elephant in the thick bush that you can see behind me at the moment. It was a little bit hair-raising, I must be honest with you. Herds of elephant on foot, it's definitely not where you want to be, so we had to hightail it out of there. What you normally do in that particular case is you put your back to the wind and you walk away from the elephant, but so that they can't get your scent. So basically with the wind not in our faces, the wind behind us. And Scott and I had to do this huge big detour, but now we're back onto the track of this male leopard. We think that he's come this way. As we've been walking past these elephants, we've been hearing impala busy giving alarm calls again. It sounds like it's a male impala in the rut, and he's just busy giving the herd that he's at's a little bit of trouble. But we're walking in that direction in any case, and we've got quite a prominent game trail here, and we're going to be looking on this game trail to see if we can pick up any of his tracks. So let's go on. Now, I'm told that there's quite a lot of discussion going on with regards to my armband that I'm wearing, and I suppose it's a good time to give you a little bit of background as to what it's all about. And really, with rhino poaching having picked up over the last couple of years in the Kruger National Park and the surrounding private reserves like Djuma and the Sabi Sand, there's been a marked increase in the security measures and the security systems that are actually in place, in particular the access control and what people are doing in the bush on a daily basis. For those of you who are watching a little bit earlier, Scott and I showed you the helicopter that was busy hovering in the air, quartering. Basically they do quadrants, I suppose, and one of the ways that they've got drones, they've got helicopters, they've even got units similar to myself and Scott that are in the bush, and they're just doing anti-poaching. Basically it's just creating a presence, a heavy presence in the bush, and make this area unfavorable for poachers to come in, or even dangerous for poachers to come in. Now, because this area is under constant surveillance almost by some or other type of monitoring system, I have to wear a visual cue. And that visual cue is an armband. It changes from time to time. The colors will change as well. I know it's not the most sophisticated method, but it definitely works for a scouting unit who's busy surveying myself from a distance with a pair of binoculars, or from a helicopter or a drone, whatever it may be. This would stick out quite a lot, and obviously they can then go and check with the relevant authorities, and they'll know that myself and Scott with a big backpack and an aerial on the back are in the way. So that's basically just a bit of background. It's just a security measure, and for me a precaution and a marker. So now I'm looking on this game path. Doesn't have anything on it at the moment, which is not too much of a problem. These thickets we're walking through, these thickets that we're walking through are fantastic. They're guari thickets, and it means that this area gets quite wet. Remember, I copied you 1 out of 5. My comms are quite bad. So at the moment there's just some kudu that have been walking on this path. Now these guarri thickets that we're walking in at the moment are typically what you get down slope, and the Sabi Sands has a katina, which is a series of repeating zones, I suppose, for lack of eco zones, for lack of a better description. Those ladies and the elephant in the background. Those are those elephant that we were with. Come with, let me show you that elephant quickly. We've got definitely the wind playing in our favor here, and it's quite open, which is nice. So we're going to try and keep the wind in our faces, which was not the case a bit earlier on. Let me see if we can show you this elephant without getting stepped on. There. Oh, it's going to be difficult to see. See if we can get a bit closer for you. I'm going to keep the wind in my face because elephants have got a fantastic smell, and what we don't want to do is make them aware of our presence. So we're going to see if we can just loop ahead of this elephant quickly. Some more impala, and there comes the elephant. It's a few elephants, it's an elephant herd. You might just get the head going through there at the back. There we go. So it's definitely the same herd that Scott and I had to move quickly away from the last time. We have got the wind in our favor. We're at a good distance away from those elephants. We're going to try and keep this distance, and we're going to see if we can stick with those elephants on foot. Now, it's important to know that at this point we are very respectful of the distance that people must keep from elephants. It's not the same as in a car. An animal's comfort zone in a vehicle is much smaller, and you can get much closer in a vehicle because for the last 60 years or so, people haven't been hunting elephant from a vehicle. Not in this area at least. But for the last 60,000 years, people have been hunting elephant on foot. And they've got this deep sense of danger when it comes to people. But, you know, we are part of the neighborhood here. This is our home. It's their home. And as long as you respect them, they're actually not that dangerous. We're going to respect distance. And we're going to respect the fact that there's moms with babies there. We might just get a little bit protective of them. But, you know, for those of you worrying if it's dangerous, in thick bush, yes. With the wind blowing from us to them, yes. But right now, I feel comfortable. I'm sure Scott feels comfortable. Scott's comfortable. We're going to see if we can show you these areas. It's a beautiful open area. Wind is nice. Let's go. Just see them walking through there. It's amazing how fast these animals can actually move through the bush. Now, to get too fixated on any one thing. Coming up to a bit of thick bush here, but I'm going to go around wind is changing a little bit. So what we're going to do is just stand by here. Stand by here. While we're staying here to see what we can see with these elephants, you're welcome to send me input.
Okay. We are now just going to have a quick chat with Brent and see if he's found anything. Hello, buddy.
Morning, morning, morning.
How are you, mate?
Very well, and yourself?
Good, man. Anything around, bud?
No, we've had some leopard tracks in the area. So Steph and Scott are walking down that side. I'm just making sure they haven't come out on the road.
Okay.
But unfortunately, nothing yet.
Yeah, mate. We there was some tracks just down on this junction just here we saw this morning.
Okay.
And then, but yeah,
Okay, have a look now.
yeah, you'll probably be able to get more out of it than we could. We sort of skirted right around that block that quarantine was in and couldn't find anything. Andrew was on it as well from Cheetah Plains, but no luck, mate. But still,
unfortunately, the lions just went straight through.
Did they?
We tracked them. They came in one corner and out the other.
That's life, mate, isn't it? That's what it's about. All right, big man. I'll see you around.
Good luck.
Okay,
Enjoy
matey. We'll see you just now, eh? Thanks, matey. So, folks, it's all about stopping, talking to Brent and talking to all the guys about. And Brent's always looking around for us. Always trying to find tracks for us. He's just giving us that intelligence about the lines going through and in and out the other side. Sometimes when we're on air, we're broadcasting live, we have the radio turned down a little bit, so I don't listen to every single thing. You can't keep up with every single little bit of information, so it's great to bump into Brent and then pick up the intelligence about what's happened on there. So lines passed through, they've gone out the other side. That was last night. Brent is going to keep looking. Steph is still looking around, and the signal he's got at the moment is a bit jumpy, so apologies about that for those little crash cuts to us. And Pete sounded like he had an extraordinary elephant experience this morning, which is always a beautiful way to start, finish or end the day, or in the middle of the day. It doesn't really matter. It's just being around elephant is always a great experience. We've just come up onto this area called Impala Plains, and it's a funny old spot. I've seen there's often you see impala here and there's one right there. The impala are going through a rutting season at the moment. It might be nice just to watch what goes on here. There's a two impala approach, and they might come up, and I don't know if these got any females here. The impala may show a little bit of sort of not aggression but rutting or territorial behaviour, and he's advertising his presence by standing there, but then he's put his head down and start to feed, so I don't think anything drastic is going to happen. Proud posture is given out.
Yeah, big. Don't you feel like taking a nap up in that tree? Guys, welcome back to the vehicle here. We're just having a little warthog joke there. Nice warthog male just ran off there. And we were just wondering if you didn't feel like taking a nap up in the tree. To see what might surprise him there. We're just making our way back towards Gari Dam up ahead, partly because it's getting towards the end of the drive, and I do want to go just look around Treehouse Dam specifically. I know Hayden a bit earlier and a couple of other game drivers have followed up on Q again, but Q is left. Food is finished. Whoa, more elephants! Happy days. Lots of elephants around. Wow. We left the other herd, by the way. I was just going to catch you up on that. Left the other herd because they were moving off into the thick stuff, and we do want to go look around a bit more, but I think for now we're just going to sit here. They've obviously just finished drinking. and they're in a deep, not a deep, but like a little donga here, so I think she just wants to decide whether we're going to bother, which we're not. But you know what, let me just do this. Sorry guys, they actually want to move up towards where we are, so I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable with us. So let's just move a little bit so she gets the idea. We can sit here and see them nicely. And then at the same time, they know that we're not blocking their way up here. To the right here is that tree that we saw them rubbing up against the other day. Now I don't see any of them covered in mud, but that's that sort of perfectly shaped tree for a nice elephant scratch. Might see one or two of them doing that. Nice. Sounds like up. I'm just going to turn the radio off again. Sorry, that's the game drive radio. A little calf having a drink while Mum's deciding where they're going to go. Certainly seems the elephant are back in the area. Here we go. This is definitely one of the senior cows, perhaps even the matriarch of the herd. Beautiful female, great condition. Healthy calf behind her, the one that was just suckling. See the whole herd in the back there going up the back. Ooh, there's a tiny baby. Did you glimpse that? Just a flash of it, but tiny calf, weeks. We will try and see him again. I'm wondering if this is not the same herd we saw. Was it 2 days ago they had that little baby? It's estimating around 4 to 6 weeks old, and that could certainly be that again, although this one looked really small. We're going to stay with this herd and we're going to try and show you the one I spotted. It was very, very quick. I just saw a little flash of it sort of in amongst the legs of the other ones in the back. But we're just going to sit here, get them comfortable with us. Here's another female, quite a big calf and toe behind her. Oh, they're going to come past us. There's a footpath there. We should get a beautiful view of her. Again, we're just sitting nice and quiet, allowing her to decide what she wants to do. Does she want to walk around? Does she want to walk past us? Oh, listen. Beautiful, all of them talking to each other. You could hear the rumbles all the way from the elephants further away as well. This is quite a big herd. Here's another one. In the distance you can hear them. Looks like 20 odd, maybe even more, but I would estimate at least 20, but anything upwards from that. Nice big group. One or two coming up in front of us here as well. Difficult to decide where to look now. That's a younger female. Oh, here's the matriarch. She's coming closer to us. She is beautiful. Big head. In her prime, I would say, probably in a, I would estimate her in her late 30s, early 40s even. Great condition. That's her calf behind her. Probably one of her older calves behind her again. Oh, awesome. A bit of dust bathing going on. Look at that. Beautiful. You can see the wind is coming towards us. That dust is actually blowing over us. 1.5 to 2.5 actually, probably more closer. One more look. Here's one of the young ones catching up to the herd. Coming up the road, he might ignore us, but if it's a male, I think it's a male. Might get again that sort of head shake. There we go. Yeah, a young bull. Sort of a teenager really. I would guess him around the sort of early teens, 12, 13, 14 maybe. And they can sometimes be very playful, and other times they can be a little bit unsure of themselves. So it depends on the mood at the day, or at the time. We're going to let these guys continue their breakfast. They sort of lazily feeding into the bush here. Let's have one last look at some of these youngsters. Yeah, it looks like they're going into the bush slowly. It's not that thick, but at the same time there's a nice relaxed feeling with them. Not going to be following them too much. And I do still want to check Treehouse Dam one more time this morning. Getting warm quickly now. In the last 5 minutes has gone from being nice and comfortable in a jacket to suddenly being warm. These guys eat a lot. I mean, they have to eat about 5% or so of their body weight. Now for a big bull elephant like that, the first one we saw this morning, the big guy in must, let's say he weighed 5 tons, 5% of that would be 250 kilograms. So in pounds he would be weighing roughly 5 tons would be about 12,000 pounds, which means he's eating about 500 to 600 pounds of food a day. Bits of grass do you have to put in a pile to get to that volume of food. That's for a big male, of course. Obviously a younger elephant or a female, depending on the size, the smaller you are, the less you have to eat. Although I don't know if less to eat describes the eating habits of an elephant well, because elephants, even if you're small, they eat a lot. Well, I think we can have a last little look around before the morning drive is over. HT is doing the same, Stefan and them are doing the same. Let's see if there's anything else to be found this morning. Firstly because it's fun and nice to see him, also so we have an idea of what we can look forward to for the afternoon. But definitely elephant herds I think are on the cards for the afternoon. It seems they are arriving more and more, the water being the big attraction for them. Not too busy at the moment. One old buffalo bull, just half asleep there. Quick look at him, but he's almost on his own island. I'm sure there'll be more joining him today. He's just having a lazy nap, ears flicking a few flies. Buffalo is getting a bit lazy now, but we've got enough time to go and check at least one more waterhole and see what we might find on the way.
You right? All right, mate. We just lost a bit of signal around the corner there. What have you been up to?
We initially had to make our way around a herd of elephants. Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone. We had to initially make our way around a herd of elephants that were there. And then we decided that with the open area here, it would be good if we could see them. And so we came onto the open area and we were just walking parallel to them. Yeah. But just, yeah, we lost signal, so you know, it doesn't help. So we left them carrying on undisturbed, and we came up onto the open area, and we've just found a plover's nest there. Oh, right. So I can show you if you want to. Yeah. But, yeah. Other than that, yeah, good. How's your morning been?
Pretty good. I just had some impala running, but just had a bit of a signal drop out as well, which was a bit of a bother. But at the same time, we've seen some really nice stuff, some nice antelope. We saw some beautiful vervet monkeys this morning, like just feeding in a jackalberry, just hanging there and socialising and stuff, backlit, which was really lovely. Pete's had some amazing elephant encounters as well. Okay. Can we have a look at the? I don't know if we.
Well, you'll be able to see it.
Well, can we drive over? Let's just have a quick look at this plover's nest, folks. Because you might be able to get a shot of the eggs. Oh yeah, there you go. That's great, Steph. So folks, that, if you just put your hand back in there, Steph, that'd be great. Right there, is there 3 eggs or 4, mate? 3 eggs. How camouflaged they are, folks. So that's why I was saying, when you were driving along the roads and things like that, we've got to be very careful. We're looking in front of us because plovers are nesting at this time of the year, and we have to take the utmost care to not drive over these nests. You have a tendency to do some hopping sometimes when you're walking, don't you, fellas?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's really cool. Is that crowned?
It'll be crowned, yeah.
Yeah, crowned. Bird that we had a look at yesterday, folks, if you were with us. Crown lapwing, used to be called crown plover, and we saw them over the other side. Well, fellas, we might leave you.
Yep, good stuff. So okay. We're going to see everyone this afternoon again. Looking forward to it. And we'll see you back for coffee and some breakfast.
You got it, mate. All right. Cheers, Scotty. Cheers, I love Scotty's. Scotty's like an explorer, an astronaut explorer in the bush, mate. It's fantastic. So good, guys. All right, fellas. Thank you very much for that, and we'll see you down there. We saw Brent before as well. He gave us some info, but we haven't seen anything of quarantine. One small step for man, one small great step for Safari Live. Cheers, guys. Thanks for that. On safari. We have had a bit of a not frustrating morning, but we've been driving around lots of these roads trying to look for where quarantine came out, trying to pick up any other tracks, and that's just the way it goes some mornings. It's absolutely fine. It's the way of the bush. The script unfolds before your very eyes. You buy tickets to go and see the film and the storyline every day. That's the way I like to think of it. Sometimes the same actors, sometimes different. But I'll tell you what, they're not acting, that's for sure. They're living their lives, fitting in perfectly into the ecosystem, and we are really just voyeurs or guests in their environment. Well, we are part of the environment, but the way that we place ourselves in their environment, we're sort of guests there, and we try to watch the behaviour of these animals as naturally as we possibly can. we've got about 13 minutes left. I'm just going to take one road down to the left before I say my farewells, and we'll probably cross back over to Pete at some point, but I just want to have one more look down a road here and see if there's any tracks. Temperature's definitely heating up. It's still not super hot, but it's hot enough for predators to be in the shade. And we look forward to having you with us again this afternoon, that's for sure. We are doing our first broadcast to National Geographic Wild, Nat Geo Wild TV across the USA. And there'll be a fireside chat half an hour before we normally finish the online broadcast, so 5:30 for us here. We'll still be online. There's a lovely big buffalo bull down here on the road, which is a great way for me to finish, because I do love my buffalo, and he is a big boy. It's okay, my boy. I'll just stop here and not disturb him. Lovely beast. So yeah, we're broadcasting regular safari participants, and you're always on the back of our vehicle. Fantastic to have you on an ongoing basis. But if you're a newcomer, the most dangerous thing in Africa is the Africa bug, because when it bites, it infects you, and you can't get away from it, sadly. It is one of those things. Once you've been bitten, it is definitely the bug that stays with you. And of course I mean that metaphorically. I'm saying that, once you get a taste of these safaris and you get a taste of driving out with us on a daily basis, you'll start to understand the magic happens completely spontaneously. We might get some information on the radio from a guide, or from Scotty or Brent or Steph, but it all depends what as I always call it, the bush script writes on a daily basis and sends out to us. You never know what's around the next corner, that's for sure. And it's a really great time to be here in Africa. I'm definitely missing my wife and son. They're watching this morning, my wife Nina and my son Jack. So I just wanted to give them a little shout out there to say hi in London. And looking forward to seeing them next week. But really exciting to build up to this weekend. And it's just so great to be here. So this buffalo is just ruminating at the moment, and he is just chewing his cud, or he's regurgitated a small amount of food that went down into his first stomach. He's got a 4-chambered stomach, and he's regurgitated that up, and he's chewing it over again. And that's why these herbivores are the most efficient out of the herbivores. The hoofed animals. These are the most efficient. Ruminants, they're called. And we've talked about it many times, but you can see there that he's resting, he's completely chilled, but getting the most out of his food and breaking down that plant material, that cellulose, which is what these ruminants are best known for. You may see that he's just chewing that over. So just a reminder again, folks, about the fireside chats tonight. There's one tonight and there's one tomorrow night as well. Really looking forward to them. We've got some exciting things inside those little fireside chats to talk about and show you. So please stay tuned for the 5:30 our 5:30 time fireside chat, where Pete and Steph and I will be sitting by the fire and taking your questions, talking about the predator abundance here and why that possibly is, the interactions between predators as well, the encounters that they've had together, and then giving also our highlights of today, having a little bit of a chat about them. And we'll do that tonight, and that's sort of the theme for tonight. If you've got any questions that you'd like to ask, you can send them to us at questions@WildEarth.tv or tweet at #SafariLive. And the question theme tonight is really predators, predatory abundance, and predatory interaction between those apex predators, just to give you a guide. And then tomorrow night we're doing a little bit of a sort of wild parenting theme, which is all about, it's a bit fitting, it's Mother's Day in some parts of the world, and definitely Mother's Day in North America and other parts. And it's a really interesting, and there's a lot of analogies that we do talk about between humans and some of the wildlife that we look at and how they care for their young. But it's just more of a wild parenting and offspring and parental and maternal behaviour that we're going to talk about on Sunday. Amazing team that we have here. They'll be taking the Safari Live, driving the Safari Live vehicle into the future, which is a great thing and very, very exciting as well. Look at the boss, the amazing boss on that, which is that big, chunky sort of helmet on top of the buffalo right there. Really nice. He's a big boy. Well, folks, we're going to finish on that big boy, and we are going to say farewell, or I'm going to say farewell anyway, and cross over to Pete. I just want to thank you all for being with us this morning. Little vervet monkey experience was quite special, and Pete had some great elephant encounters, I know, and lovely walk with Steph and Scott as well. So fantastic to have you on board. Always remember, we're back here every afternoon, every morning, same time, and really look forward to having you with us this afternoon. It's going to be quite exciting. I'm going to rub the magic porcupine quill here, give it a rub for some special action this afternoon. We're going to have our ears to the ground, get as much intelligence on the ground as we possibly can to bring you everything we can from this beautiful Djuma and Arethusa game reserves here in Sabi Sand, South Africa. Thank you so much from VM and I. We'll see you this afternoon. Take care, and we'll see you just now.
Well, guys, welcome back this side. Couple of minutes left. We just at Treehouse Dam, and I was going to stop you and say goodbye to you, but let me tell you why we're going to move along shortly. But quite a nice view of a terrapin there. We talk about them often, but normally we just see the little noses peeking out of the water, sort of like hippos. And this one is not sitting on a rock, in case that's what you're thinking. He is actually sitting on a hippo's back, catching a bit of sun. And as I said, I wanted to stop here and say goodbye to you here, but we just found a couple of meters back, about 30 yards back, very fresh leopard tracks. Male leopard tracks, I would guess probably Q's tracks. He might have drunk in the last half an hour or so. We've been circling around. I'm just going to follow that. We might even find the leopard in the last minute. But while we look for him, we're going to be having a careful eye on the left-hand side towards the drainage line. So, but at the same time, I'm going to start saying goodbye. And if the leopard interrupts us, I'm sure no one will mind. Guys, as always, thank you for joining us on the drive this morning. But also, please remember, we've got an exciting afternoon ahead of us with the live drive this afternoon, 3 to 6 o'clock our time. 9 to 12 Eastern Time, 6 to 9 Western Time for North America. the live drives to Nat Geo Wild on television. Always very exciting, and there's going to be great fireside chat afterwards. So please join us for that. I know something exciting and surprising is going to happen. Also for the fireside chat, we've got a bunch of questions. Thank you very much. If anyone wants to send further questions in with regards to predator interaction, apex predator behavior, anything around that, welcome to send them in, please. We will have a look at those probably up until about 12 o'clock today, our time. Myself and Hayden and the rest of the team will have a look at that and pick something from that. But for now, we've got a few seconds left. And sometimes all you need to find a leopard is a few seconds. So let's have a close look. But if we don't find the leopard, which might happen, we will see this afternoon. We will look for him again this afternoon. Q, we haven't seen Djuma for a while, and it's going to be a fun afternoon, guys. Please join us for that. The more friends in the vehicle, the better. This is where we heard the little squirrel calling earlier. But I think for now, just goodbye from myself, Peter Pretorius, Brian and the Thumb. It's been a fun morning. We will see you this afternoon. Cheers, everyone.